Coming to you live from New York City, it's Jim Caruso's Pajama Cast Party. And now, here's your host, Jim Caruso.
Hello, how are you? Welcome to number 21. This is the 21st episode of Pajama Cast Party. So happy you're here. Tonight's going to be just a blast. Our cast is extraordinary. We have, now, gird your loins, we have Ariana Savalas, Darius Freeman, Ruby Rakos, Marcus Monroe, and Kathy Najimy. Now, if that's not a show worthy of your time, I just don't know what is. 2 seconds before we went live, I realized my mic wasn't plugged in. So I had a short heart attack, and now I'm fine. So what's up? This is 21. This show can officially drink, which is nice. As we do every week, we bring, what does that say? Happy 21st. Thank you, Miami Beach, Kevin. Our great friend, Justin Squiggs Robertson, is a brilliant caricature artist. And every week, almost every week, he does quick sketches of all the performers. So tonight is no different. He's already started. Ruby, can you bring up, can we look over Squig's shoulder for just a second and see what he's up to? Oh, that's Ruby. He's already working on her. He knows her. Oh, God. I look like John Davidson a little bit. So fun. So by the end of the show, that will turn into this extravaganza of fabulous artwork. I should bring Ruby out here. Oh, Ruby. Oh,
Jim, I have to say, you almost gave me a heart attack, too, because when I heard the intro music playing and I didn't see my talent, I started...
I know. I was on the other side of the screen.
Meanwhile, I'm thinking I don't have time to do my best Jim Caruso drag. So, what am I going to do?
There's a whole hairdo that would be necessary.
I know. These curls would have had to, go away.
Ruby Lochner is, of course, my trusty producer, week after week, 21 weeks in a row. And they said it wouldn't last. She's an incredible help. She's a wonderful producer. And she also has her own show coming up. What? Tell us.
What? Okay, people, let me give this speech real quick because we have some incredible talent to get to. You have 1 week left. Actually, less than that because ticket sales end on Friday. You have less than 1 week to get your tickets to my show, The Talkback, with special guest, the one and only Kristen Chenoweth. I mean, are you serious? What a spectacular way to kick off my show. It's going to be an interview and Q&A style show. For tickets, email castpartynetwork@gmail.com. Tickets are $10. And if you have any questions for Kristen, let me know because we're going to be picking 5 audience members to come on and ask their questions live. We already have 3 audience members chosen, so there are 2 slots left. That's right, I can do math. So if you would like to be a part of it or just watch, please, please, please purchase a ticket. This is going to be an incredible show, September 1st, 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm just going to hold it up there one more time. It's a private show, so unless you have a ticket, you will not get the link.
You better get you a ticket.
Better get you a ticket. Jim's going to be there. Jim's going to watch.
I'm going to be there.
You should watch too.
I have questions for Kristen. I wonder what they'll be.
I think everybody has a question for Kristen. That's a song right there.
Questions for Kristen. Okay, so, we, like everybody else that has one of these damn shows, are thrilled to be doing it. We're thrilled to have a mission, something to do, something to wake up in the morning to work on. That being said, we do take tips and donations to that Venmo and PayPal information down there. But here's the thing. We don't just go out and buy, clothes so much. We make a lovely donation every week to, this week, it's the Actors Fund. The Actors Fund is an organization that's been around for over 100 years. And they take care of the community. But when I say the community, I don't mean just actors. I mean writers, technicians, choreographers, musical directors, anybody, the guy that pulls the curtain, the ushers, anybody and everybody involved in show business all over the country, not just New York. So if you need help with your rent, if you need help with health insurance, if you need somebody to pay your medical bills, they are there for you. So this information is so that you know about them if you don't already. And also, if you have a couple extra bucks, 5, 10, a billion, you can please donate to the Actors Fund. It's an incredible organization of angels that take care of the people that entertain us year after year, and it's just an extraordinary bunch. Ruby, how do they do that?
It's very easy, Jim. One of two ways, or you can donate to both sides. Oh, no, we accept tips via Venmo and PayPal. It's right here. We're obviously going to be doing our weekly shout outs. So as the night goes on, we will be personally thanking everybody who donates and sends us tips. And I do just want to say, you know, on behalf of both of us, I mean, every single week we are always amazed at the amount of tips that we get. And I know that it really does warm my heart to know that we're able to also donate to the Actors Fund, because we're living in times that, quite frankly, nobody has really experienced before, and everybody needs help, you know.
Nobody's planned for this. Nobody in the world was planned for this.
God. And so many
I
of my
remember when this first started, I thought, how am I going to be out of work for a whole month?
Yeah.
How am I going to pay how's anything going to cut to, you know, it's almost 6 months later.
Yeah.
And yet here we are, because we've learned to pivot. And that's, I just said to somebody today, I'm going to tattoo that word on my face, pivot. If you're panicked, figure it out, figure out something to do, figure out a way to give back, figure out a way to do something that matters. And it comes back to us. I just know it has to. Doesn't it have to? Oh, please, Jesus. Anyway, thank you for that. We'll talk about that a little later. You can also follow us here on the YouTube, on the Cast Party Network.
Yes, subscribe, people. We have so many shows coming to this network, and shows that we already have on this network. I know we'll talk about this later, but Virtual Halston, which you can rewatch all of the episodes if you haven't watched that show yet, because you're just so in love with Pajama Cast Party that you can't possibly think of watching anything else.
I get that.
Virtual Halston. Also, my show is going to be on this platform too, but it's private unless you have a ticket. See what I did there? I just snuck it right in. There you go.
And also, the Pajama Cast Party webpage, you can go to the Ye Old Gift Shoppy and buy beautiful things like this.
Like this. You know, tonight, Jim, I have some champagne in my mug because
really?
Pajama Cast Party can officially drink. Pajama Cast Party is as old as me. My, oh my, they grow up so fast.
That is truly depressing.
Yeah.
You're now 21.
Great.
I'm now 147. But with the right ring light, you know, I look okay.
Yeah, you look great.
I think we should get this thing started, because we've been talking now for 8 minutes, and people are getting antsy.
Although I think that's one of our quickest opens, Jim. So.
I think that's okay. Yeah, that might be the wave of the future.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
Let's do this. Fantastic talent tonight. We're going to start with Ariana Savalas. Now, let me tell you, she's a singer, she's a songwriter, she's a burlesque performer. And I'm going to have her explain exactly what that means, because a lot of people are not clear on what that means. Most recently, she's been headlining and touring with Postmodern Jukebox, which is literally the best variety show I've ever seen. I saw them all in Las Vegas. It was one of the greatest nights of entertainment I've had. Would you welcome Ariana Savalas?
Jim!
Come on!
Look at you with the flattery. My cheeks are pink enough already. I got too much rouge on.
You look fantastic. And your hair is purple.
My hair, this is all natural, of course. This is
Sure.
not
What's a
me just
family?
being lazy and not wanting to bathe.
Oh, God,
Putting
it's a
on
family
wig.
trait.
Born this way.
Born this way. This
Boy.
is Martin, by the way, my fabulous boyfriend / bassist.
Hi.
Hi, handy to
Yes.
have Martin around. Good to
Yeah.
see you.
Thank you. It's so good to see you. God, I can't. I just remembered that you came to our show in Vegas.
Billy Stritch and I came. We had the time of our lives. We were doing cast party at the Smith Center.
That's
And
exactly right.
Oh my God, it was truly thrilling.
Oh my God, everybody was losing their mind that you were there too. Like every single person in
That's
that
not
cast
true.
knew you guys. They're like, oh my God, you'll never believe it was in the audience.
Oh,
I
God.
almost brought you up on stage. You were
Oh.
almost my victim.
That would have been very unfortunate.
It would have
for
been a
both
night
of
to
us.
remember.
Exactly. Okay, I want to start at the beginning. You were born in LA. Your dad was the wonderful actor Telly Savalas.
Yul Brenner. Okay. Different
You
one.
actually scared me for a minute. I was like, oh my God, did I just say? No, I
an
mean,
old
so
joke.
you grew up around show business, but then you moved early, right?
I did, yeah. So when my dad passed away, we moved. My mother didn't want us to grow up as stuck up, potentially drug addicted Hollywood kids, as is the story for so many young Hollywood kids. So she actually she lived in Minnesota. She grew up in Duluth, Minnesota. Pretty different from Hollywood. And when we
mean,
were
really?
7 and 9, that's when she took us right after my dad passed away. She's like, I want you to have a normal life and have a backyard and not worry about you being abducted every time you go outside the front. Because in
yeah,
Hollywood,
right.
it's a different scene.
Yeah. Well, that must have been, even at 7 and 9, that must have been a huge culture shock.
Oh, we despised her for the first about 2 months of living there. It was so, because when we first got there, I think it was not so much a culture shock as it was a weather shock. You know,
Right.
we lived in
Right.
LA, which is, 72 and sunny even in winter. And then we moved in the winter. And it was the coldest winter we had had in a
course.
century in Minnesota. In 100 years, it hadn't been that cold. And my mom brings us there. We're like, what the hell did you do to us? Like, what did we do wrong? Like,
What
you're just
torture.
moving us to this tundra. And then the summer came and the mosquitoes started swarming. And
Oh, delightful.
we were eaten alive.
Yeah,
It was great.
nice.
The
But you
amazing
went-
people there.
But, oh, of course.
Yeah.
But you went to a Catholic convent school?
I did, as you can tell, it really paid
I was
off.
going to say, are
That-
you the only girl from that school that's now in cool burlesque shows?
I guarantee you, I'm not the only stripper out of that school. There's got to be another one. There's got to be like a prerequisite somewhere. Like if you're gonna take off your clothes, somewhere there's a Catholic education involved.
Well, maybe they're
100%.
watching.
I credit
Maybe they'll-
them actually.
Maybe they'll call in.
Maybe they will. I don't know. I think the nuns will ask for a commission one day. You know, I'm gonna get a call from my lawyer.
Nice.
Catholic convent school. Yep, the convent of the Visitation for 3 years. It was amazing though.
The
They're
convent
best.
of the Visitation.
Yes. And if you can imagine, I was actually wearing less clothes there than I do now. Like, I was such a jerk. I don't know why, because I was such a good girl, but I wanted everybody to think that I was really bad and that I was super badass. And so I'd always wear, like, free dress days, the one day that we had a year that we could actually wear what we wanted. My, leopard hot pants. I was wearing them up to my booty. I wore a Playboy bunny shirt. I hadn't even kissed a dude. Or a girl for that matter. And I literally just wore a Playboy bunny shirt to school. And my gym teacher, who I guarantee you was watching more Playboy than anybody at that time, was like, go to the principal's office. And the principal was so adorable and innocent that she didn't actually know what it was. She didn't know what the Playboy bunny was. She's like, well, that looks an awful lot like the Playboy. But I was like, oh, no, it's not actually. It's just...
Don't even know what you
It's just
mean.
a sweet bunny. He needs to get his mind out of the gutter. So she let me wear it the rest of the day.
Okay, that's like a movie scene. That's
It
a
was terrible. I was a
hilarious
jerk.
movie scene.
Spent my whole life in detention. What about you? Were you a good boy in high school?
Oh, I was ridiculously good. Yeah, I
Were
was
you
creepily good.
Of course you were.
In fact, I went to a prep school starting in 7th grade, and rumor went around that I was a narc.
Oh,
Now try, yeah.
that's such
Now
a
try to make
specific
friends.
humor.
Try to make friends at a prep school where everybody's rich and everybody has money and everybody's doing drugs except me.
You'd
And try
probably
to
be
make
really
friends.
popular if you're a narc at that kind of school. It's just a bunch of cocaine and, drugs
It
everywhere.
was-
People are probably calling you all the time.
It was sad. I was so into the Carol Burnett show. That's all I wanted to talk about.
Bless. Okay,
It
well,
was-
I mean,
yeah.
that explains your inevitable
Everything.
career decisions. but-
Yes, exactly. Okay, so you've sung all over the world. You're doing concerts and you're recording. Big cut to 2015 when you met Scott Bradley,
Yeah,
and
that was a big cut.
big cut. But you began collaborating on online videos with PMJ, World Tour, London Run. You hosted the Postmodern Jukebox PBS special.
At the same place that you did Cast Party in Smith Center in Vegas. It was amazing.
I mean, I love it there so much.
It's the best.
But tell me about that swerve in your career.
Oh, that was more than a swerve. That was a whole exit ramp. Yeah, well, I mean, Jim, I met you long before that, actually, when I was kind of trying to make my name in the cabaret world, playing places like Birdland and then going down to Palm Beach and doing the Colony and the Royal Room and just kind of making my way around the country. And I was really satisfied and resigned myself to the thought that, cabaret is what I live and breathe for since I was a very young squirrel. And I just realized that, cabaret is a living art form, but it is definitely a tinier fishbowl than, let's say, rock music. So I just kind of always assumed that my career would, be born and end in the 100-seat theater. That's kind of just what I assumed. And then I was like, if I'm selling out those kind of crowds, that's as great as it's going to get. And I'm thrilled.
I get it.
And then all of a sudden, sorry, he's a doctor, so he always corrects my grammar. All of a sudden, which I learned that was actually grammatically correct when I was 33. I did a show with, do you know who Dave Cause is? I'm sure you guys have crossed paths.
He's one of my best friends.
Oh, of course he is. Oh my God. So you don't live in LA, so we have never known that, but that does not surprise me at all. He is literally the biggest mensch on the planet. So Dave introduced me to the manager of PMJ. Actually, the way it happened was I was doing a pajama pancake birthday party, and I was wearing a wig and a leopard onesie, and then his manager at PMJ came to the party with Dave, and that's how he met me, and then he came to one of my shows, and from that show, he goes, God, you should really work with this band that I manage, PMJ, and I was like, yeah, great. I'd never heard of him before. And then I looked him up online. I was like, oh, shit, they're actually really famous. And so Scott actually doesn't know this version of the story. He knows that I happened to be in New York when we contacted, but actually I called him and we spoke, and he's like, yeah, next time you're in New York, because he was working out of his basement in Astoria at that time.
Remember.
And he was like,
You would come to
next time you're around in New York, then let me know and we'll do a video. And I was like, yeah, actually, I'm going to be in New York next week. What a coincidence. And he's like, oh, brilliant. Like, come over, we'll do a video. I was so not meant to be in New York that week. I just didn't want him to think I was a creep. And so I booked a ticket and I flew just for the sole purpose. I mean, I had a few friends that but the sole purpose was 100% to just record a video with PMJ. And in hindsight, that seemed like a pretty good lie to tell, because it turned out pretty well.
Yes, it did. I love that story. We just have to create, we're all creating our own fame and fortune, or lack of, but
our
it's up
cabaret
to
fame,
us.
Jim. Come on.
It's up to
You are the king of cabaret fame. Are you kidding?
Oh God! And what does that mean?
If you know, this is if someone doesn't know your name, they're not a legitimate cabaret performer. That's
not
my
true.
It's like if you don't know Jim Caruso, you haven't made it in cabaret. You don't know anything.
That's very kind. So when you're telling people what you do for a living, you're such a thrilling performer, not just vocally, but visually. It's just this whole amazing kind of conglomeration of sight and sound, which is what burlesque is to me. How do you explain to somebody that, like, if they just came from another planet, what is burlesque to you?
That's a wonderful and loaded question. I mean, for me, burlesque. Oh, and there's my dog. Ludwig? Why don't you explain it? Why don't you come and introduce him? This is Ludwig, my very vocal wiener dog who loves to steal this. He loves burlesque. He's like, burlesque? Is someone describing it?
I like
Here we go. Here we go. This is gonna. Nobody's gonna listen to me now. No one's gonna give a shit. It's just gonna be the dog now.
Well, that's the cutest dog ever.
He's the cutest dog ever. But as far as burlesque is concerned, goodness, I mean, I think that the way I would describe it to somebody who's never heard of it before is it's one of the most intimate art forms I think you can possibly get into, and not just because of the, excessive and delightful nudity that's usually accompanied with it, but, the original meaning of burlesque is not just taking off your clothes, and it's still not. I think a lot of people go to it for that reason, but they stay for the intimate vaudeville factor. I mean, burlesque back in the day really used to mean all-encompassing cheeky variety show, the vaudeville show, and I think that those words are kind of synonymous, but then burlesque was sort of this, way of, of channeling something so much more intimate than I think you can get in so many other kind of artistic experiences. And, not to get all existential and stuff, but as far as being a songwriter is concerned, burlesque was the medium that I chose to tell my stories through. My first burlesque that I ever wrote was the Ménage à Trois. And it was literally just a collection of stories that I wrote on the piano and the ukulele and, at 3 a.m, drunk and miserable. But then what I love most about cabaret, and I'm sure that you can identify with this too, is that it's a way that you can take the really miserable things in your life and turn them into something, purple wigged and fabulous, and how many different ways can you actually do that? And I think that that's where it really originated too. If you look at the burlesque and the cabaret from, the Weimar Republic in Germany or in Paris, it's like there's always this aspect of making light out of really serious darkness that was surrounding the culture and the political sphere during those times. And you can see that infused in those cabarets and those burlesques. And that's what really attracted me to it.
Kind
because
of like
I was writing
now.
such miserable music.
Yes.
And but then I can sit and put on a wig and have my drag queen friends come and tell a story and people will laugh at my misery instead of cry. And I always think that that's a better way to do it. So yeah. That's
Well, I want you to sing for the people. Would you do something for us?
Okay, we're gonna do something old school.
Yes.
Because I have ripped jeans and a Golden Girl shirt on, so it's only appropriate.
I bet you're not the only one here tonight.
I don't think I'm your only listener for sure who has a Golden Girl shirt on right
now.
No. You'll recognize the song, a little ditty by Buddy Holly. 1, 2, 3.
Every day it's getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Every day it's getting faster. Everyone says go out and ask. Love like yours will That's why it stays with me. A 1, 2, 3, 4. Every day seems a little longer. Every way my love's a little stronger. So come what may, do you ever long for true love from me? Every day it's getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Love like yours will surely come my way.
You might be the best whistler on Pajama Cast Party.
Oh my God, thank you. I know.
You're welcome. Oh my God, you sound so beautiful, both
Oh,
of you.
thank you.
Thank you. Now, there's your newest project is with our friend Brian Newman.
That's right. I'm going to be on his show this week. I'm so excited.
I love him
Oh,
so
don't
much.
you just adore? Where did you meet Brian?
I met him, I guess he did a show at Birdland, and then we kind of got friendly, and then he started coming to Cast Party a few times, and
Amazing.
I'm just a crazy fan.
Well,
Sorry,
you guys are
he's-
such New Yorkers. If you guys hadn't crossed paths, I would think that something was wrong because, I mean, you just both live and breathe New York.
well, he's become Mr. Las Vegas, too. It's so exciting.
Oh, my God. I know. I sang with him twice in Vegas when I was doing the residency at Mirage. It was amazing. He is so brilliant. And he actually appears on my upcoming record.
Oh, my God, great.
I know. I can't believe I
Oh, it's called
convinced him.
Memory? That one?
What?
Memory?
Yes, on Memory. Yeah, we released the single and then we couldn't release the record because #COVID.
Right. Hello.
The record's coming up, but the single Memory is. Oh, you're so sweet for knowing that.
I know things. I read.
You know a thing or two.
I love you for doing this.
I love you.
I invite you
So
back
happy to see
any
you.
old time. Thank you both.
Oh my God,
are we
of
getting
course.
good comments? Oh, you're getting such a talented and beautiful couple.
Oh my God, did you hear? No, he's the talented and the beautiful part. I'm just, the wigs and the.
You're both perfect. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you very soon.
So good to see you.
Bye, guys.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Giving you
Thanks.
slobbery lipstick kisses.
Oh, I like it. Okay.
Bye.
Okay, Ruby, is the sound better? Because Ruby just texted me that my mic was crazily loud. Are we better?
I think we're a little. Ooh, I look crazy. I think we're a little better. Your mic was just sounding a little hotter than.
Should I turn it? Should I keep turning it down?
Turn it down a little bit more.
How's that?
Oh yeah, we're back in business, baby. 21.
Okay.
Woo!
Okay. Oh God. I have to thank some people who've been very generous. Audra, Sean Gale. Sean Gale, who are you? You are so damn generous. Todd Foreman, always. Rick Hinkson, always. Jeffrey Wolper, always. Todd Petzel, always. You guys are just keeping us going. It just does my heart good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's just Venmo. I can't see who donates on PayPal. So I'll thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Okay. I first heard this next guest singing on YouTube. He sang a TikTok duet with gospel singer Gregory Bruno that went viral. You're going to love his voice. Here's Darius Freeman. Hi, Darius.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great.
My new friend. We're really not friends.
Yes.
Where are you? Where am I finding you?
I am in Oklahoma City right now. I go to Oklahoma City University, and I'm an acting major.
And where are you from?
I am from Grand Prairie, Texas.
I did not know that. I'm from Dallas.
Wait, where are you? Like, just from Dallas exactly? Okay, great.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't grow up there, but I moved there when I was a teenager, and I lived in North Dallas, and then I lived in Turtle Creek.
Cool.
Shout out to Turtle Creek. Well, I'm thrilled you're here. Are you? What's happening at Oklahoma City University? Are they planning on having classes?
Yes, right now we have this like hybrid class system. So some classes are online and some classes are in person.
Right, right.
For the most part, some of my classes are online.
Weird to be an acting major, and I mean must be very strange.
It's very, very strange, but we're all still adjusting, so we'll see what happens.
We adjust, we pivot. So I guess your goal is to do theater, to come to New York, or to stay where you are.
I want to go to New York and I want to pursue theater and acting and just
Yeah.
sing. I love to sing, so.
Oh, you're really good.
Thank
Now, did you sing in choirs and in churches and in
Well,
schools?
I've sang since I was very little. I grew up singing in church, and from there I like went into show choirs and then came to OCU, and I've been singing here too.
So you're starting to really build a nice following on YouTube. Is that fun? Is that weird? What does that feel like?
It is fun. It's very interesting to see people commenting and stuff, but I'm very, very excited and thrilled.
I mean, the outreach is just crazy. You just never know who's going to be out there.
Yeah.
I love that. That's what I love. That's why I love like trolling around, and I find the greatest singers that way, like you. And I think you should sing right now.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
I am singing "No Longer Slaves" by Tasha Cobbs.
Great.
From my mother's womb, you have chosen me. Your love has called my name. I was born again into your family. Your blood flows through my veins. I'm no longer a slave to fear, for I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear, for I am a child of God. You unravel me with a melody. You surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemies, till all my fears are gone. I'm no longer a slave to fear, for I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear, for I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear, for I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear, for I am a child of God. Oh, 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 you split the sea so I could walk right through it. My fears were drowned in perfect love. You split the sea so I could stand and sing. I am a child of God. You split the sea so I could walk right through it. My fears were drowned in perfect love. You split the sea so I could stand and sing. I am a child of God. I am a child of God. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear, for I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear, for I am a child of God.
Oh my gosh, what a beautiful, beautiful performance.
Thank you.
Darius, holy Toledo. You you sound amazing. What a beautiful, healthy voice you have.
Thank you so much.
I look forward to hearing great things about what you do. And you know, our friend Kristen Chenoweth went to your college.
Yes, she did.
She's going to be Ruby's first guest on her talk show. So you might want to tune into that. Maybe you'll have questions for her about, you know, what it was like back in the day.
Yes, I'll be
Troublemaker Day. My gosh, thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you. Here, nice to meet you. Handshake.
You too. Thank you so much.
And what a treat. I look forward to seeing you and hearing you very soon.
Thank you.
Darius Freeman. Wow, what a treat. I mean, to get to hear people at the very beginnings of their career, I just love that. Okay, you all know Ruby Lochner runs a tight ship here at Cast Party. She makes it all look so easy. But I have news. I'm a harbinger of news here. There's another Ruby on the scene. And this Ruby has been coming to Cast Party for almost as long as Ruby Lochner. Are you ready? Here's Ruby Rakos.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You are really the only person I know who looks just like their headshot. Just the backdrop, the color, the beauty, the lighting, everything.
Oh, thank you. Well, you're not the only one who says that, so
It's so funny.
it's clearly true.
It's clearly true. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. I am, moved back in with my parents, so that's cool. I'm not crying. You're crying.
Listen, we're lucky. We're lucky they're there.
Yeah, no, that's part.
But you're in town. You're in the neighborhood,
I'm in
right?
Jersey.
Right.
It's barely out of the city, so.
Yes. Yes. When did you first start coming to Cast Party?
Like 11 years ago, like this summer.
And you were a kid. How old were you? I mean.
How old am I?
Well, I mean, because I know you.
I'm gonna be 24 next month. So yeah, so I was 12. I was about to turn 13.
And you were on Broadway. Hello.
Yeah, it was the summer I was cast in Billy Elliot. Hi, Max. Here's Max.
Max Von Essen. Oh God, you were his daughter in Chasing
Yes.
Rainbows. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But Max, wait till you see Ruby in 2010 with me on the stage at Cast Party.
Oh God. My hair was so long.
But you could tell you're really shy.
Very. I think that is the side of the bus pose that I am
Yes.
picking for you.
That's right.
Because there was a city sights bus with that had like Billy Elliot on the side, and I was on it, and that was the pose I was doing.
You had to show it up to us, as well you should.
Oh God.
Please, I'd still be talking about it if it would have been me.
I know,
I would lead with that.
Come on.
Excuse me?
I think you have like a mini replica with your face on everybody's face.
Thanks to your mother.
Yes. Yes, my mother made it.
That was the greatest souvenir. Really was. Okay, so when we first met, you were on Broadway.
Mhm.
That must have been cool. But what did the kids at school think of that?
I don't think they really thought anything.
Oh, really?
I don't know, because I don't remember 8th grade like at all.
Right.
I was so tired. I don't know. I think like some people like thought it was cool, but like the year before when because I auditioned for the show for 2 full years. So like after the first year of auditions, like there were people at my kids at my school who thought I had been on Broadway like over the summer.
Oh, I see.
Like, so I don't think they really knew anything about what was going on.
Well, that's maybe good.
Yeah, it was fine. And then I was homeschooled, and then I went to a performing arts high school where like everyone had been on Broadway at some point. So it went from being like no one had any idea to everyone was like, yeah, we don't care.
Nice. I recently saw you starring as Judy Garland in a new musical at the Paper Mill Playhouse, also starring Max von Essen, called Chasing Rainbows, which deals with Judy Garland's childhood as Frances Gumm, her real name, and the creation of that iconic career. Now, I know you were always a little obsessed with Judy because you used to sing her songs at cast party.
Yeah. Yeah.
What drew you to her originally?
Well, I honestly did not know much about her until I started working on the show, which I guess was like, oh, hello, my cat's here. I didn't know really anything about her other than like The Wizard of Oz and her show in the 60s until I started working on the show, which was, I guess, almost 7 years ago now. 7 years ago. But Zing with the Strings of My Heart was like my go-to song.
I remember.
I think I've sung it at cast party 100 times.
Perhaps. Good each time.
Yeah. So, so that's like how so I didn't really know anything about her. I just liked that song. And then I happened to be singing that song at a musical theater intensive in the city called Broadway Artists Alliance when I met the producer of Chasing Rainbows. So it was very serendipitous.
Perfect. Well, God, her early material is so wonderful for you in your voice, and you do it so beautifully. Okay, who do you listen to now?
Oh, I listen to a wide array of things. Like I like my taste knows no bounds. Obviously like Judy and like anything like 50s, 60s, well, anything from like the 30s through like the 60s I'll listen to. But then I also like a lot of like newer like alternative stuff. Anything up tempo. I love up tempo songs. I never sing ballads. I know we're kindred spirits in that way. Yeah, no, I like Glass Animals is great, but then like Lake Street Dive. Oh my God. Street Dive,
I love them.
Yeah, Jamie Cullum, Lake Street Dive. Those are like 2 of my favorite artists. Like a lot of the songs in the show I was supposed to do at Birdland in June are Jamie Cullum and Lake Street Dive and whatnot. So.
Would you sing for us now?
Yes, I will.
Do something for the people. Show off.
All right. Is it still connected? Yes, it is.
Is that your orchestra down there?
Oh, that's a different song.
Oh, or that song.
Okay, let's do this one. Too young to go steady. Too young, I hear him say. He says we're not ready. But then why am I feeling this way? Too young. So he tells me, he says we'll have to wait. Why he'll be sorry someday. Just wait and see. He'll wish he'd gone steady with me. Can't he see? He drives me wild. Is he made of stone? Must he always treat me like a child? Won't he ever own up? I'm grown up someday, someday. He'll be sorry someday. Just wait and see. He'll wish he'd gone steady with me. Before it goes to another song.
Oh, no, it's so good. I love that song.
Oh, thank you. And it's no longer a ballad, James. James.
James. Rubeth.
It's late.
It's such
like
a good
9
song.
PM. I'm normally in my pajamas.
No, stop it. Who recorded that song originally?
I have no idea.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, somebody out there knows.
Someone knows. Someone knows.
They're going to type it in as we speak. In fact, I'm going to click on the comments to see. You sound amazing.
Thank you.
You just sound great. I can't wait for this all to be over so that we can hang out at Cast Party again, and I can come see you and in wonderful musicals. Yes, please.
Oh,
Ruby, I thank you so much.
thank you. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you
So good.
in this space
I know.
in years, so it's good to see you.
It's good to see you. Keep in touch and come back.
All right, I got nothing better to do.
I know.
I'll
I
be
hear that
right
a lot.
here, right in front of this wall.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. That's Ruby Rakos.
Bye.
Sorry, other Ruby
Oh.
popping in really fast.
Yes.
I just wanted to say on camera, Jim, your mic sounds great again. Ladies and gentlemen, I know we were getting a few comments about Jim's mic. People are really concerned about your mic, Jim. So I just wanted to let everybody know we got it fixed, and
Perfect.
enjoy your regularly scheduled programming. And that sounds great, Jim.
Thanks, other Ruby. I shouldn't say other Ruby. That's not very respectful. The Ruby. Thank you to all these. Oh no, I just scrolled to last March. Sean, thank you. Dale, thank you, thank you. Bobby Horowitz, Nicholas Hammond, Bill Westmoreland, Matthew Fox, Kathy Weimar. Can't thank you all enough for being so generous. All the money, once again, not all the money. We have to pay for the platform. We have, expenses, lighting, microphone problems, all those things. And then we send a nice check every week to the Actors Fund, which does just miraculous things for people in the business. I know so many people that have, in the beginnings of their career or the ends of their career, or now during this horrific time when people can't work, they can't bring in the funds to pay for their medical care, to pay for the Actors Fund also helps with helping find health insurance that works for you, helping with your taxes, tax seminars. I mean, all the kind of boring stuff they are so good at. And they're just, I use this term all the time, but they are angels. So we're always happy to send a donation to them after you guys have been so generous. I think of this next performer as a modern vaudevillian. I don't think I made that up. He's one of a handful of variety performers taking their art into the 21st century with style and great humor. I enjoy him so much please welcome to your screen, Marcus Monroe. Was that the style and humor that I was talking about?
Wait, Marcus, you muted your mic.
It's going well.
Hang on. It should be good in a second.
Is it good now?
There you are.
I'm so sorry about that. I'm new to this technology thing. You know,
Aren't
I think
you a
I'm wearing the
millennial?
AirPods and sometimes. Yeah, but that's why I don't know it. I'm too busy just not making TikToks, I guess. I don't know. I think I can't speak for all millennials. What happened was, I think I'm wearing these AirPods, and if you like click on them to readjust them, they mute. I don't know. How are you? The show's been great.
It doesn't matter. You're with us now. Thanks. It's been fun, right?
Yeah, super fun. Just like we're at Birdland.
I know. It's kind of like that.
It should. I mean, I think that's what you're going for.
Kind of like Birdland. That should be really a quote that we use. Now, Marcus, I can't imagine what kind of a kid you were. What were you into?
I couldn't say my ows. So I was. What was I into?
You couldn't say your what?
My art. I had like a speech impediment. Couldn't talk properly.
Really?
Thanks for bringing that up, Jim. Yeah, of course. When I have two brothers, one younger, one older, and we like to physically fight like all of the time.
Nice.
Like last time we were together, we fought at my grandpa's assisted living complex.
You mean physically?
We did pretty. Yeah, but let's just say we did pretty good. We're still undefeated.
Oh, okay. When did you? I don't even want to get into that. When did you start juggling?
When I was 9.
Really?
Started when I was 9.
What was the first thing you?
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, sure. What was the first thing you juggled?
Really? You just want me to say balls? Is that what you want, Jim? You want to go blue right away? I juggled balls. Are you happy? You got what you wanted?
I'm a little bit happy. Uh-huh.
I started with like a book. So like, you know, nowadays people just look it on YouTube and how to, and I'm a very visual learner. So it took me like 3 months just to learn the basic 3 balls, you know, but now it comes second. I don't even have to think about it anymore.
Right.
But you know, when you're younger, I'm reading a book. I'm trying to figure out how to, I mean, there were pictures, which helps, but videos are probably much better.
But turning the page and I can just picture
so
young
hard.
You. Yeah. Well, you've turned.
I'm like, Dad, can you turn the page for me? My arm's tired.
I've seen your act. I've lived to tell.
I'm sorry.
And you've turned awkwardness into like a whole art form, which is what I love. Who helped you, or who, or what, or how did you create this onstage persona?
Well, it's really started by the fact that I'm really bad at stringing sentences together, and I don't know what I'm going to say when I start a sentence, so I just kind of keep rambling, and then it somehow turns into a joke. But really, I'm just like, I'm throwing out life raps, trying to grab one, and then I keep falling, and it's not like it's not like something I planned and had a blueprint for. Let's be the guy who doesn't really know what's going on. That's not really what I was going for, but that's what happened because I'm not marketing myself. So, yeah, they're like, we need someone who looks like a lady from the back. I'm like, I'm your guy. So I don't know what's going on. Can we start over? Can we? No, yeah. Is it live?
Nobody's watching this. It's fine. I do have something to show you. Ruby, can you pull this up? This is one of your first times at Birdland.
Yeah, that was dumb. Wouldn't do that again.
That was terrifying. That was terrifying because you're literally above the lights. Everybody was nervous that you were going to, die or kill someone.
I need attention. I need attention. Yeah, seriously. Thankfully, that didn't happen. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. It was a small space, and young and dumb, as they say, Jim. Young and dumb.
But entertaining. Look, when I first met you, Lucy Arnaz was producing your off-Broadway show. How did you guys meet?
She saw my show on a cruise I was on, and then we talked afterwards. And I went to school for theater, so I kind of knew. Obviously, they're playing our song, and I knew David Freeman, who she was on the cruise with, because you can't go to Marymount and not know who those people are.
Right.
So that's what happened. I met, and I was kind of we hit it off immediately. Still friends till this day. Love them both dearly.
I spoke to Lucy yesterday, as a matter of fact. And then you and your friend Ben Seidman started touring in 2019, last year. Will you continue that tour when the world opens back up? Because I love him. I think he's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Ben, thank you. Yeah, Ben's great. I don't know. Ben and I have been best friends since we were 12, and so we've been touring on and off our whole lives. So, yes, we will do something together again soon when it allows us to do that. We're working on stuff during quarantine, but I hope something happens.
Yeah, of course it will. Yeah, of course. The answer is of course. We'll do something. Show us what you do. I
did not hear that. I can't hear you now.
Show us what you do. Can you hear me?
Wait, what? Did I do something? Are you plugged in?
Yeah. Am I on? Ruby?
I can't hear a word you're saying. Ruby,
Jim, I can hear you. Hang on.
Hold on.
Marcus, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Tell him to juggle things.
Can everyone else hear me?
Everyone else can hear you, and Jim told me to tell you to just juggle.
That's so rude, but I will do it. Just juggle, man. Enough with your chatter. All right, so I just wanted to juggle something real quick, because I know no one's tuning into Cast Party for the juggler. We know that. No, Jim, no, that's true. Come on, it's true. Most people want to hear songs, and I don't blame you. I do too. But you got this. Okay, so listen, I'm just going to bring it right to the end of my show. You've seen the knives, and you've seen the torches. I'm assuming you've seen someone juggle those things. But what you have not seen are the two of those together. This is just a lighter. That is, until today, boom, the Norch. It's a knife and a torch fused together by the power of tape. And not only am I the inventor of the Norch, but I am the only Norch juggler in the entire world. And check this out. I invented two more. So, Cast Party, for you guys tonight, I'm going to juggle three Norches, the only juggler in the entire world that does it, while inside my head, I'm doing long division with remainders and all that stuff. And then if I have time, I'm going to foil. First, outer, inner, last, baby. First, outer, inner, last. All right, here we go. Juggling. Oh, by the way, so this is I'm in the Upper East Side. I got a small little backyard, but the fire department has been here before. So I'm gonna try to do this real quick. They're not very nice when they come into your house. I'll tell you that. But could have been just this branch. I like the fire. I like the firemen. I like you guys. FDNY, you're good. I didn't mean that. That's like a bad symbol now. But thumbs up to the FDNY. All right, here we go. I'm an idiot. Knives and torches, everybody. You're watching Cast Party with a man juggling knives and torches taped together in his backyard. Oh, yeah. All right, and here we go. This is my favorite trick in the world, and then I'll swing it over back to you, Mr. Caruso. All right, here we go. I hope I can get this right. Sometimes it's not easy. Man, that flame is big today. All right, here we go. Whoa! Oh, wait, that wasn't as good as I wanted. There we go. Oh, yeah. That is it. Jim, I did it. No songs, but we made it through. Hey, I can hear you now. That's amazing.
Marcus, that was incredible.
It was all right.
No.
I would say, the effort I put in, well, I put in a lot of effort because I got a light.
You got a lighter. Oh,
I got a lighter.
You got a ring light. Bless you.
But I just miss, you miss that live interaction with everybody. But this was great. I want to thank you so much for having me. I have not performed since March 14th.
No, that's not true.
Not because of the pandemic. I just don't know how to get booked.
I see. Here's what I do want you to look into, a hairnet, because I'm afraid with the torches,
Part of the fun.
Your whole do could go away. Oh, holy
sorry,
Toledo.
I'm sorry. I know, right?
Thanks for that.
It's part of the danger is like, is his hair going to catch on fire? That's what I think. And that's why, I mean, it's not part of the fun for me because let's face it, if my hair goes up in flames, so does the career,
That's
I mean, and I put careers in quotations.
Quit doing that, blowing that stuff my way.
I am sorry. I didn't mean to. I am sorry.
I can literally
I apologize.
Smell it on the Upper West Side.
Oh, that's not what you're smelling, but all right.
Marcus Monroe, how much do I love you?
That is.
How much do I love you? So much.
From here to here.
Oh, that was very well done, how you did that.
Yeah, it's cute.
I enjoy you. Thank you for entertaining us. Look, people are loving it. People are writing in how much they love you. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Love you. We'll do it again.
Yeah,
Marcus Monroe.
So. Okay,
Marcus
no,
Monroe.
We will. I promise. We will.
Okay. I'm putting my glasses on. Insane. Lawrence Friedman. Thank you. Sue Hanna. Libby Whittemore. Lisa Goodman. I mean, you guys are the best. Thinking about me, thinking about Ruby, and thinking about the Actors Fund. I appreciate it. Okay. My last guest is an artist, an activist, a teacher, a mentor, a great friend, and someone who works very hard to make a difference. Hey, look over there. It's Kathy Najimy.
Look at that. It's magic.
Hi, my friend.
Hi, Jimmy James. I'm confused because it says pajama party, so I wore a negligee thinking that you'd be in flannels with footsies, but no.
You don't know what's going on down there.
That's exactly true. Well, I once remember in Mexico.
On that cruise?
On that cruise.
Woo! Good times.
Good times. Hi, darling.
Hi,
I've had so much fun watching this show. Oh my God, there was the girl with the great voice, and then the guy with the great voice, and then the guy who juggles fire.
I know.
It's
like crazy.
Sid Caesar and Imogene Coca's show of shows.
That's exactly right. I've always wanted to be Ed Sullivan with better hair.
Guess what? I think you've achieved it.
I love that you're here. I've wanted to get you on this for so long, and thanks for the negligee. I'm kind of loving it.
It's a pajama party.
It's a pajamas.
It's so good to see your face. I feel like that we are just like FaceTiming and talking and just catching up, but then I realize, oh, there's people watching. So
well, good. We can only hope.
Hi, people.
But just pretend it's just me. I think we'll have more fun that way.
Okay.
Except I'm going to ask you questions, and the answers I think I know. But this is also interesting because as I do this more and more, I realize when I book friends of mine and I'm doing, research on them, I don't know a lot about some of the history of our good friends. So it's been interesting to do the research.
Yeah, don't mention that I was in prison for a couple of months. That's just too hard to explain to people.
I know. I know you don't like talking about that.
I don't know. I mean, I like to think, I tell people it was like political reasons we were marching, but it had to do with Mo. Remember I did, Mo Gaffney, the brilliant Mo Gaffney.
Of course.
And her stealing a pineapple at a grocery store. So that, please don't hold that against
I won't bring it up.
All right, good.
Handsome
Jim.
You're a beautiful person.
What do you mean? That's crazy. I just woke up. Are you kidding me?
This old thing. Wait, okay.
Maybe my hair's a mess. That's
Shut
crazy.
up. Where are you? What room are you in? I know
I'm
that.
in my, this sounds weird in New York, but I do have a dressing room. And so I'm in my dressing room.
I've not been in there.
Well, and you won't ever be.
Fine. Okay. During my in-depth research,
Yes.
I found out that you hosted an open mic night.
Yes, in the 80s. In the 80s. Is that in a bio somewhere?
I'm just saying.
Oh my God. In San Diego, there was a cafe. This was before I had done anything. No plays, no Kathy and Mo, no films, nothing. I just done, actually, I had not done some school plays, but my best friend, Steve Gunderson, since we were 14, you know Steve.
I love him.
I do too. He got in plays and he got the lead because he has this great voice. So he would insist that they give me a part, lots of times a non-speaking part, but I would just walk across sometimes or he wouldn't do the play. So, but anyway, so that was in the 80s.
That's a friend.
That's a friend. And there was a coffee shop that was a women's coffee shop called the Ring Cafe. And on weekends, I would host an open mic night. And that's where I met Mo, because Mo was in another group. And so I met her there. But here's the thing. All of a sudden, I started getting really, really sick. And then I went to the doctor. And finally, her and I realized it was because I hadn't drunk that much coffee in my life, but I was hosting at a coffee shop Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. And something like my vitamin D or my blood cells. And anyway, but it was lovely. Jane Alexander, do you know who she is? I mean, not Jane Alexander.
Wonderful actress, yeah.
No, not Jane Alexander. Jane Anderson.
I don't know her.
She's a writer. She wrote a million things that you love, like huge, big hits. She would come there and do stand-up. Lotus Weinstock would do stand-up. I mean, it was just a fantastic experience.
I love that you were so caffeinated that you thought there was something wrong with you.
And there was.
That is not the only thing our careers have in common. Ruby?
Oh, look at that.
But wait, Ruby.
Oh my God. Is that you?
On the right.
Isn't it interesting how odd people end up just finding odd jobs and then find their way into the showbiz? I mean, we were just really odd.
I thought that was showbiz. And it was. I mean, I was doing birthday parties and whatever it took to put on a costume, to learn really badly ventriloquism and magic and stuff. It was like I was gonna be in Tiger Beat, and I knew that was my way in, because they had a lot of clowns.
Yeah, they did. I used to do this thing called, I forget what it was. I have no memory anymore. So let's just assume that I'm not going to remember anything.
Okay.
Dan, if you remember, Dan, my husband's in the other room.
Is this Live Wires?
Well, I did Live Wires singing telegrams.
I did too.
You did?
Yes.
In what city?
Dallas.
Wow. I did Live Wires. I'd work in the office answering the phone and singing them like what it might be like samples. And then I couldn't really fit into the messenger outfit. So I was a big white furry bunny. And I think you know the story about that.
I do. Tell it.
Okay. I'm going to tell it fast because I've told it so many times. And we have so much.
I know you have. I wasn't going to bring it up.
So I'm in Live Wires and I'm doing singing telegrams as a clown and a bunny, because those are outfits that Greg Barnes, who is now a Tony Award-winning costume designer, was my then boyfriend. And he was designing, Danny, what's the show with the rabbit? Alice in Wonderland. He was designing Alice in Wonderland. And so he gave me the big furry thing to do singing telegrams with, and I was doing it. And I was a huge, crazy, sycophant fan of Bette Midler for most of my life, from like 8th grade on. And so I wanted to meet her. One is another story. Let's do Cast Party like in 3 weeks, and I'll tell you the first story, which is great.
You're always invited.
And then the second one is where I dressed up like a bunny And we took a bus from San Diego to LA to the Greek Bowl. And I waited outside and I pretended like I had a singing telegram for Bette Midler. I said, telegram for Bette Midler. And Greg had put like eyeliner, my little whiskers, and got me into the thing at halftime and at intermission. And so I hopped finally after about an hour. And all these like faux famous people were walking by, like Susan Anton and Sylvester Stallone and Calvin Klein and one of his girlfriends at the time. And so the guy brought me down the hallway to her dressing room, and I saw her. She's very short, actually, surrounded by these famous people. And I started jumping up and down in the big white furry bunny outfit, saying, telegram, I got a singing telegram for Bette Midler.
Jesus.
And, I hopped in and sang her a song that I wrote called Jazz Hot Congratulations. And then I hopped out to where the chauffeurs were waiting with the limos, and I passed out cold.
The end.
The end.
That's a great story. I mean, and then once you worked with her, did you tell her, do you remember the bunny that?
Well, I mean, there was a couple times that I had sort of ambushed her. I did the same thing at another theater in Los Angeles for the big gay rights. It wasn't even called
Amphar. The Amphar thing?
It was 1979.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it was a big deal. And I got twirly-eyed at the end of it. And I broke free from my friends and I ran to a dirt mound above Tom Waits's piano. And I went up to the top of the mound and I jumped down onto the stage, and all these guards started after me, and Aaron Russo, her manager, were running after me. And I got backstage and I couldn't believe it. And I opened every door. And finally I opened it up, and there she was sitting on a couch smoking. And I said, hi. She said, hi. She said, hello. And I said, I love you. And she said, thanks. And I said, I started going, she said, what's your name? And I said, Kathy. And she said, thanks, Kathy. And I said, you're welcome, Bette. And then the guards got me and took me off to theater jail.
Oh my God. I mean, it's just the best. It's very heartwarming because I was doing that stuff too. Anything to be near, what we love, the juice of show business. I just
Who
love
was your idol at the time? Who was your sparkly? Who was your best?
Well, I mean, I've always been a Carol Burnett lunatic, but I didn't get to meet her till I moved here, till I was an adult. Right. But we snuck back. My friend Bonnie and I snuck back stage at a Donnie and Marie concert and got into the after party, and we're just standing there at an after party. I don't know how it happened. Bonnie had to sit down because she was going to pass out. And I was like working the room, and I found all the photographers. I still have the photos. It's a little sad yet. Why not? Okay. So back to you.
Okay.
Back to you. So you do all this. You come to New York with the Kathy and Mo show.
Yeah.
We are Don't Tell Mama at that point.
Yeah.
Doing cabarets. Now, I don't know if the people at home know, but Amish people make more money than cabaret people. How were you making a living? How were you paying for that period of your life?
I was doing coat check at Don't Tell Mama up until the time of the show. So I
didn't know that.
I'd hang up people's coats and then I'd go back and do the show. And I also wrote for a, do you know the answer to this? Is that why you're asking me? Because if you found this out, you are just a genius.
The what? No, I don't think so.
Catalogs where you buy things like, different things you can buy in a catalog.
Yes.
Well, I wrote the inscriptions for the items that people buy, but they had to be snappy and funny. So my favorite it was a little tiny traveling stapler. So my caption was, I'm getting my staples together and taking them on the road.
Wow.
That was my big triumph. So that's what I did.
What?
I never waited tables.
That's a crazy job.
Yeah. But we ended up.
Was it kind of a good gig?
It was a good gig, but we had kind of a fast track. Like we did it pretty quickly. Like Don't Tell Mama, like Mondays and Sundays, so that the theater people could come. All the cast of the Broadway musicals came at like 1 a.m, and then we got a better slot. And then I'm just a crazy person who would just, there was no internet then. So you would just write letters to people. And I just started writing letters to any famous person's name I knew. It was irrelevant. Dear David Letterman, dear Walter Cronkite, dear anybody. And my name is Kathy, I'm from San Diego. And so people, I think, started coming just to see the crazy lady who wouldn't stop writing and calling them. Oh. And then Carol Rothman and Robin Goodman came, and we got a gig at the Second Stage Uptown, the Upper West Side Second Stage.
Yeah.
That was the beginning.
And then HBO specials.
Yeah.
Then you had your first taste of success. But then, I mean, and that's how I know you, because we would sit around quoting you. I mean, how many times have I said you look very, very pretty tonight to someone, or in that time frame? You were so quotable, so funny. But then came the nuns, and then that's when all hell broke loose for you with Fame, and that's when I met you, because
of John Boswell was our common friend, and he was in the Wise Guys.
He was in my not mine, but a vocal group I was part of.
Yeah.
And you guys were living together, and all of a sudden we were kind of in your swirl. I remember when People magazine had been to your apartment that day shooting you. I mean, we couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, it was like being with Barbara Streisand. I was thrilled for you. That was such an exciting time.
It was a fun time. Yeah. I don't even remember that People magazine shoot, but yeah.
Come on.
All I remember is being on that boat and caring about that there was a casino on the boat.
Yes.
Just like slot machining.
We all did a cruise together, and people were just starting to recognize you. They'd be like, are you that girl in Nonsense? And it's very nonsense. Cool. Not Nonsense. Oh my God. Are you that girl in Nonsense?
They would say that a lot. They would say that.
Of course they would, because they're idiots like me. Okay. So even back then, when we met, you used your public platform you became an activist for so many issues, including rights for women, AIDS awareness, animal protection, LGBT community. In fact, I have this picture, Ruby. Show this great picture.
Yeah, look at that vest. I have such balls to wear that. That's insane. Yeah, I think that was the gay rights thing, and I think that's the one. I did many of those. I think that's the one where I introduced someone that no one knew about, and he was a new singer, drag queen named RuPaul.
That I don't remember. I just know.
I feel like I'm an elder in the theater community.
I know.
That young boy was Jimmy Durante.
No, that was the 25th anniversary of Stonewall in June of '94. I took that picture because I was about to go on stage with Liza Minnelli. I don't like to name drop. But we knew each other, and I was
going into Liza's trailer with you guys. I remember that.
Yeah, it was a great day. So,
I mean, the interesting thing about like people's knowledge of me as an activist is that I was an activist for a living, and not for a living, but what I do with my time long before I was a known person. And so it wasn't that I found myself having a microphone in front of me. I would steal microphone. I was a nobody, but I still consider myself an activist first. It's the thing that I wake up in the morning and think about. It's what my passion.
You do.
I can live without acting forever, but but activism is, what runs through my veins.
I have to say, you're maybe the first activist feminist that I knew. Because you said some things to me in those early days that I will never forget. We don't have to go into one of them.
No, there's whole groups of people who will agree with you. What did I say? Did I say it nice? Just tell the truth.
You were unbelievably nice. I had used a word that you thought was inappropriate, and you told me why. And I've never said it again. And I've also thought of you every time that sounds wrong. Every time I hear that word, but I do. And it kind of changed the way I thought about it started to change the way I think about things. And I remember with Wise Guys, you said, you guys need a point of view.
God, I'm not.
Because we were just like singing songs and fun trio vocal harmony. And you said, I feel like you need a point of view. And I'm not sure if we ever found that point of view, but it never left my mind.
I was wrong. You were guys who were just singing.
We were just singing. But it was such an interesting thing to hear from somebody, because nobody had ever made me think like that before.
You know, I know which word you were talking about.
Yeah, I know.
I've loosened up a little bit about it, but I think it's just, I don't care about, like, obviously I'm married to Dan Finnerty. I don't care about swearing at all. But I do feel like there are some words that are gender identified. And in using that swear word, they're meant to sort of indict a whole gender, which is what my, God, I'm so boring right now. Anyway.
No. I found it great, and you were kind, and it changed my mind about a lot of things. I mean, that's a fantastic legacy to be able to do that for, I don't mean to me, I mean for the world in so many ways. You have a daughter. What is she, 21, 22?
Sammy's 23 and a half.
I mean, and of course your husband, Dan Finnerty, it seems like he's 23. I don't know how old he is, but we have a cute picture of the three of you.
Let me see.
Come
look
on.
That.
At Birdland.
Baby, you look good in that picture.
I mean, that's a good looking family.
And something about Samia?
What?
What day is today? Tuesday? Monday?
No, Monday.
Today's Monday. Friday, her first album comes out that she wrote all the music to, wrote all the lyrics to, sings every song, and literally went away for like a year somewhere and got it made, and we knew nothing about it. I mean, we knew she was making an album, but the thing I'm most proud of is that she captained it by herself, and that makes you go like she's going to be fine. She knows how to do it. She doesn't need anybody. But
who would she learn that from? That would be you and Dan, who are both self-starters. It's like, we're going to do this. Dan sings and was successful in theater, but then he created something called the Dan Band, which is wildly successful, wildly well-known, just by sheer will. And she watched all that, and I think that's so cool.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm really proud of who she is as a human. I really am. She's a good human. I love her so much.
How do you talk to somebody young and growing up, now she's an adult, about the world? How do you help have them see things in a way that is healthy with all the crap going on?
I mean, I think Dan and I both really agreed about respect and equality and all of those things. So they were active in our household. And of course, Gloria, who is not only, my really good friend, but has been the guiding light for me my whole life before I even knew her. So it's been a pleasure to have her as a friend these past more than 20, almost 30 years. Wow.
But really friend, not like kind of her backstage. Really friend.
She's a good friend, yes. And so Sammy had that, and she saw the circles in our house and the people writing letters, and I think she saw what an activist life was and all the people who did much greater things than I did in her life. And, she's just a great person.
I mean, you say much greater things, but I'm what?
Danny just opened there. Come in and say hi for a second.
What?
Just put your head in.
Is that Dan Finnerty?
Hi.
Dan Finnerty of TV's the Dan Band.
I just felt like Susie Mosier wanted to be mentioned because I saw her commenting. And she's a huge part of the story, but I know she's freaking out. She's going to drop her baby trying to type what about me?
We love Susie Mosier.
You showed a picture of me holding a thing, and I was about to say that I was in this musical called Mother Earth. And that's where I met Susie. Yeah. Well, I had met her before. She has a whole story about how I used to usher when she was in Godspell at the Old Globe, which is true. And but Susie, as you know, because you really gave her a platform as well, isn't she literally one of the funniest?
I love her.
Most talented people ever in the world.
Yes. Also, I love her. I mean, she's just the best.
She's like, speaking of Samia, she was a huge inspiration for Samia. Like having Sue in our living room since Samia was born, singing and doing improvs and being Susie. And she credits a lot of her performance to watching Susie Mosier.
Wow. Wow. So Susie Mosier and Gloria Steinem.
Yeah, it's a good. And see, you have to have balance.
I mean,
and Uncle Jim Caruso.
Yes, I see that in her performance. Yeah. Okay, I was listening to stuff, and you said something that I want to decoupage or needlepoint. You said, because you were talking about growing up and not always fitting into the roles that came along, and just being.
Well, I was fat, which has gotten a little better, but still is pretty much the worst thing you can be for a woman. So I was a fat Lebanese girl, and that, still America hasn't embraced Arabic culture the way I would like for it to be. It's getting better. So I was a fat Lebanese girl in a working class neighborhood. So I had, like 14 strikes against me. But the good part about that is that, Jim, you have nothing to lose. I had nothing to lose. You know what I mean? I wasn't on the fast track to anything. Nobody expected any great things about me. I didn't have to wear the best clothes. So I got to really just develop a personality and sort of this road for myself. And I never worried about it because I thought, I know how to be poor and not famous. It's fine. So it was all just I love games.
I know you do. But wait, I want to, before we get into that, you said this thing, and I just think it's brilliant. You said, I'm grateful for the opportunities I did not have.
Yeah. So grateful for that.
Did you make that up on your own? That is a brilliant thing that every performer, if not every human, needs to hear. I just think it's so smart.
Yeah. Well, if I had more opportunities, I wouldn't have become like this scrappy urchin, from Stop the World, I Want to Get Off. Like, I'm going to go out there and do a show. Like, I didn't, like I said, I didn't have any opportunities. So I just made them. And I'm still that person. I'm still putting on a play or a show or a
Well, you're writing a play right now about your friend.
Yes. Oh, no, about Gloria?
Yeah.
No, that was a play that I created and helped produce that was on last year on Off-Broadway for about a year. It's brilliant. And I think it's going to be touring. It's called Glory, A Life.
I'm thrilled. I can't wait. I want to see it. I want to see you. So what are you going to sing? I'm kidding. I got more emails and texts from Kathy saying, I don't know. I know it's all singers, but I don't think I want to sing, but do I have to sing? It's like, you don't have to do anything.
I sing in things as other people. I don't sing as me. You know what I mean?
That first moment of you singing in Sister Act is literally, I can think about it and laugh out loud. When that voice comes through, it is one of the greatest moments in filmdom. I swear to God.
That's Mark Shaman. Mark Shaman did that. When I auditioned, like I sang like some, and they said sing a 50 song. I was like, where the boys are, I will wear, and he said, that's great. And then they said, we need you to go to Mark Shaman's. He had an apartment then in Laurel Canyon before he was a gazillionaire famous. Funniest, greatest thing. Anyway, so I went to his apartment and I sang something else. And then he said, that's great. You have a good belt, but do you have anything else? And I said, oh, do this really funny, crazy, awful opera voice. And he said, okay. And so I'm afraid if I do it, I'm going to blast you out. But
no, it's going to be good.
So I just did like, and he said, do that. There you are.
Oh my! Excuse me, just 1 minute.
I want to talk about you. Can we talk about what a good game player you are and how you've been playing charades in all of our apartments since we've been in New York for?
I have, and it's been a joy. I'm not always that good. I'm good at acting out stuff, but I'm not good at guessing because I don't remember anybody's name. I don't know the title of anything. I'm the worst. Yeah, I'm not good.
An encyclopedia of the business we call show.
People think that.
No,
they are wrong.
I remember once you had to do something about Pretty Lady or Fancy Lady. What was it? Danny, do you remember what it was? It was we were on 58th Street. And the thing you did will forever be sadly seared in my heart. Like I wake up at night.
Yeah, it was maybe That Girl or something like that. It was a lady moment. Yeah. It was Jim being a lady. Dude looks like a lady.
Hey, what's happening in the world right now? What's going to happen? Are we ever going to have game night? Are people going to get their jobs back? What's going to happen?
Yes. In fact, I want you to read Jerry Seinfeld's article today in the New York Times. It's an op-ed, and he's actually railing at the people, one person in particular, who said, New York is dead. Well, not as far as Jerry Seinfeld is concerned. It's a great piece. I am with Jerry.
Jerry. I love New York. Guess what? We are the best citizens when it comes to code. We did the very best.
Look what we did.
As far as figuring out what it was and figuring out what to do, and everybody just did what they needed to do. And of course, the fallout is that there is unemployment and there is homelessness and there is sickness, but that's all over the world. But as far as doing what we were supposed to do and respecting each other as New Yorkers, we did great.
We did great. We're still, none of us are able to go back to work, but health-wise, we did great. And we followed directions.
And I think we have 0 deaths a day now.
It's unbelievable.
I know.
It's like us and Antarctica.
Yeah.
Say that. Hello? Have I said that word before ever? Yeah. I feel very positive, and I ask people, to end on a positive note. What have we all gotten better at through the years? Because there's always work to be done, and there's always agony. There's always bad. But what are we better at now?
I think we're better at a lot of things. I think especially in the last year, part of our dialogue, what we think about, how we speak to each other. And here's the thing, we all know that there's, you and I lived through a huge surge of LGBT, although then it was just G.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It was just gay for a very long time. And for just for saving the lives of gay people at that time, let alone getting rights and respect, let alone getting the right to be married. That all was just icing on the cake after years and years of work. But, we've come a really long way, especially with trans rights. Is it as great as we want it to be right now? No, but as a person who is 87 years old, I have seen a lot of where it began and where it has come. And I am heartened by that. And and now I know with Black Lives Matter, some people say, I'm just so nervous. Am I saying the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I posting? And I say, here's the great, great news. This isn't a test. No one's looking to be punished. This is a huge gift of an opportunity that we've been given to think about things differently than we have for the last billion years. And it's a gift. That means our society is going to be freer and more positive and more equal. So all of these changes and all of these things are, I think, a fantastic progress. I love learning to be different. And I don't punish myself that I didn't know yesterday what I know today. So I think that's where we are, as well as all the political stuff and of course, health. That's a bummer. It's hard for you and I, Jim, because we live in apartments and we can pay our rent and we have food. And are just around us, just feet around us. There are so many people because of the pandemic that just don't have any place to live anymore and don't have a job anymore and don't have food. So when I say I'm fine, I know that I'm a privileged person who's fine, but I also feel an obligation to be part of the answer, the recovery.
I mean, how great are you? I love you for talking to us. I think you're always saying things that are important to hear, that have been important to me, as I've told you. And I just love you for joining us here at Pajama Cast Party. And by the way, wearing your negligee.
Wearing my negligee, and I did prepare a song. If I could just please do a little bit of it to end with.
I was hoping so.
Danny, what's my song? Song that I prepared?
Well,
every day for a week we would try to feel the motion down the hill. Every day for a week we would try to hear the wind rush, feel the chill. That was my audition song for Robber Bridegroom that I did in San Diego with Brian Mitchell, this was before the Stokes.
Did you get in?
Of course I did.
Yes.
I got to be in the chorus and I got to be Goat's mom. I had 3 lines.
Ooh, and they were?
Well, Susie, if you're watching, she'll remember this. My line was, "Don't never look on no naked girl." And it's opening night and I'm ready to do my line. Packed house. It was a big, huge theater. It was like a real theater. And I come out and I say, "Goat, don't never look on no naked boy." And then you see the chorus just slowly falling down behind the barrels and me laughing and going down. And you know who was Goat? Casey Nicholaw.
Oh.
So it was appropriate.
Unbelievable. You have more good stories. You have to come back.
Okay.
We could be like Regis and Kelly Lee or something. We could do this every week.
No, but I'll come.
Okay. That's too much.
I love you. So
I love
I'm
you.
So proud of you and everything you do. You're such a good one. You're a good human. I'm not a big fan of humans. You're a good one.
Some humans are actually pretty good.
Some are, yeah.
You are. Dan is. Samia is. I love you all. Applause.
Thanks, Ruby.
Kathy and Jimmy. I mean, now, come on. I hope you enjoyed that because I sure did. That's the end of our show, people. Couple things to remember. Tips. You're not paying to see us. And I don't want you to feel like you have to because there's a lot of, a lot of people are out of work. So if you're just getting by, I totally understand. Boy, do I understand. But if you have a couple bucks or more, I wouldn't complain. Send us a Venmo or a PayPal to tell us how much you appreciate and enjoy this incredible talent that we get to bring you week after week. You can follow us on YouTube, the Cast Party Network. On YouTube, you can subscribe. You can go to our gift shop and buy things like this or Cast Party masks, Cast Party shower curtains. I know that's a long shot, but they're there. So fun. Hats, tumblers, straws. We should go visit. We need to visit Squigs. See what he's done. Squigs, can we, Ruby?
This is a great one too. Are you ready?
Wait, let me put my glasses on. I'm going to put the big glasses on that make me look like Charles Nelson Riley. But
I
that's
always have the big glasses on.
Okay.
So.
Oh. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Did he send? Oh my gosh. Oh man. Oh, look, the applause sign. Wow. That is gorgeous.
It's fantastic. How lucky are we?
So lucky. Justin Squigs Robertson, you're a genius. Thank you, my friend, for always making this extra special. Ruby, you're the best. You're the queen of all things. You're the queen of all media.
I really think Kathy's the queen of all things, as everybody was commenting. Jim, this was like one of our viewers' favorite finales.
Really? Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
Everybody loves Kathy. I mean, why am I surprised? But I mean, what an incredible interview. I was sitting and watching, not just as a producer, but as a fan. So I mean, it was just absolutely amazing. What a great way to end the night.
We're so lucky to know smart, funny, talented people. That's all I ever wanted to do was hang out with those kind of people. And look, I'm in the corner of my bedroom kind of doing that. You have your show coming up this next, it's Saturday. No, it's Friday. What day is it?
It's a week from tomorrow. I actually just got a couple comments, like 4 people asking how to buy tickets. So I just want to mention it one more time.
Perfect.
Okay. All you have to do is email castpartynetwork@gmail.com and just say you want a ticket to my show. I'm actually the admin of that email address. So anytime you email that, it's me. So I will just follow up with you in regards to how to proceed with purchasing a ticket and the link to the show. It's super easy. That is all you have to do. And it's going to be a great show. So please buy your tickets.
I think Darius should get his friends from college together, since they all go to the college Kristen Chenoweth went to. I think they should all get a big group and watch the show, for heaven's sake.
I mean,
Darius, for heaven's sake, let's get that going. We also have Virtual Halston on Friday at 5:00. Julie Halston with her very special guest, Linda Lavin. Are you kidding me? That is going to be a killer show. Killer show. Next week, very special Pajama Cast Party. Danny Bacher, Deborah Barsha, and Sheila Ray have written a very fun, clever song about voting. Corinna Sowers Adler, Damian Sanders, Michaela Cicada, and from the Manhattan Transfer, one of my all-time favorite singers, Janice Siegel. I mean, what? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being so supportive. Thank you for sending, for Venmoing. I'm just so thrilled to be able to do this and that actually people watch. And to all you Broadway World people out there, because they're carrying us now, thank goodness. So that opens up our audience to trillions more. So thank you all for joining us. Let us know if you have any ideas, any guests that you'd love to see. We'll try and get them. Thanks and good night. Thanks for watching Pajama Cast Party. To follow us on YouTube, just hit subscribe. Click on that little bell and we'll keep you updated on future shows. You can also follow us on Instagram at Jim Caruso's Cast Party.